What's up, y'all? It's Stavros Katsantonis. We're back on Behind the Visor. We got a special episode today. We got my guy, the legend of Hamilton, Simoni Lawrence. I mean, you could give this dude a title on just about anything. He's done it all in the CFL. My man, good to have you on the pod today. Thanks for coming on.
Let's get to it. What up, Goose?
Man.
Me and Goose just got done some dog work. You feel me? So I'm feeling
We did.
extra swole right now.
We did. Actually, I wanted to talk about that. I mean, it's been awesome to have you in there, I think, just as a competitive level because you're a competitor. But what's been the reason why you've been wanting to get in there and just, train with the boys?
It's like when you start doing different things, you start to try new things. You're like, well, maybe I don't need to train all these times, and maybe I don't need to do this, this, and this because I'm not putting my body through this, and that. But
Right.
at the end of the day, you got to do what made you successful. And
Yep.
that's how you keep your mental clear and focused. And it's hard for me to go into a regular gym and get that same kind of atmosphere. There's
Man.
nothing like the football locker room, Goose. Let them know.
Man,
Nothing
I know.
like it. And you can't even act the same in certain places like that. So, I could come in there with the boys
Yeah.
and talk nasty and get to it, right?
Yep.
And just the competitive level, and watching everybody grow and the consistent numbers of improvement. And then just being around the boys. Like, I remember when we first started, like, your times improved tremendously. Kenny's times is improving, and just see the growth, because at the end of the day, I got to scout the boys anyway. That's part of my job.
Part of the job now.
You see what I'm saying? So it's cool to see what works and what works for players.
Yeah.
And the same thing holds true. Consistency holds true. And the way that Boom has the schedule permitted is like Monday, Tuesday, or skip Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And then you see the people that are coming consistently are consistently getting better, and it's just holding true.
Yeah,
so
man,
just hanging out with the boys and working. And blood, when I retired, bro, I got all sad and stuff, gained 40 pounds. I was looking like
40.
I gained 40. I got up to 260, Goose.
Man. That's not the Sim I knew. You couldn't tell though. You couldn't tell. Like when you would come to practice, like I mean, aside from that one day when you pulled up in the biker suit, because I remember you were a big biker. Aside from that time, that was the only time I was like, damn, like Sim's wearing this tight bodysuit. But no, like I never noticed. Like you obviously carry your weight very well, but I think that's big kudos to you on dropping the weight, being able to work out with us and show that you still got it. I know I've been hitting everybody saying, hey, he's coming out of retirement, but man, like I know you for sure could still play, but I know, business being business, you're doing great things where you're at right now, with the Hamilton Sports Group and obviously everything that they provided for both of us, right? Like obviously I'm still playing, but all you did for the franchise in your playing days and the reward that you got post playing days, it's been great to see kind of your ascension on that. And maybe one day, maybe a GM, maybe CEO, owner of the team, who knows?
It's fun just being in an arena like this, Goose. Like I call it like my second try at college again. You already graduated from Minnesota. Now, like it's a big paid internship, because there's so many different things that I'm learning every day. You play football your whole life. You don't even know how to like be in the corporate world. You got to start understanding corporate language, understand how people carry themselves and go about things, because football world and corporate world completely different. Football is like way harder, because it's like you do something wrong in the football world, you know what happens, baby. You going home.
You're going home. You're going home.
Like
dinner on Delta.
Athletes get held to unrealistic standards, and that's why we're the top 3% of when we play sports and stuff. But just having the opportunity to learn so much, a lot of people wanted me to coach and stuff, and I'm blessed with the opportunity from the sports group just to take my time. I'm too close to the game right now where it's like I see football through such a high lens that I expect the unbelievable out of everybody, and I wouldn't be able to be a good coach yet. So having the opportunity to see how things are done is helping me tremendously.
Yeah. What do you think the biggest thing, that you've learned from like a business perspective, since you've been involved, on that side, being out of football?
Um, that you can be right but still be wrong.
That's a quote right there.
Dude, like, like you can be right about it hit me hard as heck because I was doing reflecting, every morning, as high performers, we write in our journal
I don't
just
got
so
it
we
right
don't
here.
make
My notebook's downstairs, but you know
see
it.
what I'm
You know
saying?
it.
Look,
Yeah.
y'all, get
I got the
yourself
same
a
one. I got
journal
the same one. It's got
and
that same
write in
thing.
it every single day
Yeah.
because like the best lesson you can learn from is other people's mistakes, your mistakes, and you want to write it down so you don't repeat the same mistakes. And the thing that came to my head is when I was writing sometimes was like, I was right about this, but I went the wrong way about it. Or I was right about this, or I responded the wrong way about this. Oh, I was right. You can be right, but still be wrong. Just because you're right about something doesn't mean that you also can't be wrong about the other thing,
Yeah.
So that's something that I learned, and it's just like keeping your calm, staying composed. And like I've learned that from so many people that don't even like know that I watch them around the business office. Like I watch so many different people, just like how they handle adversity, what it looks like. Because on the football world, somebody make a mistake, you can go and talk to them like, yo, what? Yeah, and talk to them like a certain kind of way. But like in the business aspect, you have to feed them candy.
It's different, man.
Dress it up. You got to put
different.
some makeup on it to deliver it the right way to be effective. So it's a different type of leadership for sure. Imagine Rambo coming in after a business meeting and things don't go their way or some way. What? And it's insane to see it, but you understand why we are the 3% of the world, because like the thing is you have to be able to get criticism. And I'm so grateful for sports is to being able for people to talk to me and give me information. And I just take the information for what it is, because like when we play sports, we don't care. Like, yo, we understand we're all trying to get more money, get paid and stuff. So any information coming our way is for the betterment of the team. So you don't take anything personal. In the business world, that people that may have not played sports, anything you say might sound like a personal attack because they don't understand or haven't been around a team atmosphere. So they can't take in information on like what we call it constructive criticism.
Exactly. Yeah.
That coach hard.
That constructive criticism, man, I'm telling you, some people like you said, when you get out of the football, I mean, there's some guys in the football space that don't deal with constructive criticism well. And I mean, most times those guys don't really stick around too long. They don't stick around too long. Like one thing I've learned, and like not even in a bad way, but sometimes you just gotta learn when to bite your basically I bite your tongue most times, because like you said, you can be right even in the football realm, but just because there's a hierarchy to these things, right? So there's never a right time to really, I would say, like speak up when it comes to like, okay, I might be right about this, but the best way is always just to go about it like, okay, let's move on. If I need to have a private conversation with someone, I can, but like you got to know who you're talking to and who's listening to you at the same time, right? So that's always the thing about the football, being in sports. But from your end, I guess what's been the thing for you, like when you compare the Hamilton faithful, to other places you've played? Obviously, you came out of, University of Minnesota. You spent a little bit of time in Edmonton. I think you were with the Eagles for a bit, right? Some NFL time. Like, what's the real difference that you've noticed in Hamilton? Obviously, it's your, this is your home now in the, I won't even say off season anymore, because it's just that's just where you live. But what's the biggest difference from, the Hamilton faithful and, compared to other places that you played and been?
I would say Hamilton is a smaller version of Philadelphia.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like Philadelphia is Hamilton on steroids. You know what I mean? Like it amplify everything that goes on in Hamilton. That's what Philadelphia is on a daily basis.
Yeah.
And that's why I got so used to playing in Hamilton. As far as constructive criticism, a lot of people can't handle that. That's why it's hard to play football here in Hamilton, because the fans are fans, and that's what people don't understand. Like, fans are fans. They're going to say what they want to say. They paid their hard-earned money to watch the games. If you suck, they're going to say you suck. If you're good, they're going to say that you're good. And you just appreciate the realness. And that's why I appreciate playing in Philadelphia. A lot of places, they're going to feed you candy. And the fastest way to get cut is when people feed you candy. Like, oh, you're doing great. You're doing great. And then when that contracts come around, I thought I was doing great. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
So, like, Hamilton is a place where you don't get lost in the fan base of telling them how you're playing and stuff, but like the realness of the atmosphere here, you can appreciate. Like, you can walk outside and still be like a normal person because the way Hamilton is built, you know, like nobody's like the fans go crazy when they see you and stuff, but they still treat you like a human being and not an object. And that's what I appreciate being here in Hamilton. And then our fan base is second to none. Like when you go to war, like, I hate describing, because I went to a military academy and my military buddies always get mad when we compare football to war, but it's the closest thing, right? Like, you're going into battle, you were running. Well, now we know Goose runs about 30 miles per hour. Running full speed and running into somebody else that's running 25 miles an hour and crashing. That's a war. That's putting people out of work for a couple years. He does that every other play. You see what I'm saying? So, like, when you're going into war, you want some passionate fan bases that understand what you're going into and what you're putting your body through just to entertain. So if you're not getting that reciprocation from the fan bases of what you're doing, that your job title is hiring you to do, it doesn't feel good. But when you come here and do it, like when you make a big play, Goose, in that stadium, and you hear
nothing like it,
yelling and that realness, it feels good. So now you're reciprocating the energy from the fans. So I would say the thing about playing in Hamilton is we have a fan base. We hold like 23,000. It sounds like there's 80,000. I played at Minnesota, where we're going into Penn State that holds 100,000. We're going into Wisconsin, 80,000. The Big House, Michigan, another 100,000. But here, you got that 23,000 of real life crazy mother freakers. You got the guys that go in the back alley with you, and you only need like 2 of them, and you don't care that
you might only need 1 of them. Those steel workers, man, they're different. They're different. I've seen them up close in person, man.
You see what I'm saying? Like, and I respect and appreciate the community here in Hamilton. Everybody's like, yo, why you stay in Hamilton? And the thing is, it's like, we get given gifts. Like, we worked hard, we're disciplined to be able to shape out our gifts, but there's nobody that can play like 10 years of football, keep hitting people, not get hurt, and continue to perform at a high level. That's a gift from the higher power, right? So whenever you get a gift like that, your job is to spread on the gift. And where can I do that the best? Right here in Hamilton.
In the community, man. Giving back.
See what I'm saying?
Giving back.
I can spray it through the gift because I was given a gift to do something that I love to do. So now it's time for me to continue to pay it forward. So like, that's what I respect about Hamilton the most. And the fact that they appreciate it. They love it. They're extremely grateful.
Yeah, no, man, I think like you definitely hit the nail on the head. And I think that's one of the things, like I always say, you're the blueprint for, what every CFL player should sort of strive to be, right? You spend all your time, I mean, aside from, your time out in Edmonton, but other than that, once you got traded out here, right, you've been out here ever since. So I think it shows a testament to, you don't always have to chase the highest contract or, the money. If you spend the time and you're loyal and you give back to the community, it's going to pay dividends for you down the road. And now you see what that's been able to do for you from that blueprint standpoint. And I always admire that a lot. I know we talked many times of why it makes sense to be here in Hamilton, and I mean that's one of the reasons why I made it my off-season home. I think starting at basically last January, because I was going back. California is great to train and, all that sort of stuff. Sometimes training on my own, sometimes, with a group of people. But, like, I just wasn't able to scratch that unscratchable itch of, like, man, I'm not in the city that loves me. And, there's so much opportunity here in Hamilton. I think some players, obviously everyone's situation is different. There's finances that come into it, all that sort of stuff. But I think there's something to be said about spending your off season in the city that you play for, and it makes you grind that much harder. Like when we've woken up on some of these days on Monday when, you know, we show up for work and it's -20 outside and it's snowing, and you're like, like if we were living anywhere else, like if you were living in Minnesota, or, you know, if I was back in Idaho or something like that, like it might be a little bit difficult to get up and go, you know, work out. But every time for me, the thing that sets me and grounds me is when I'm driving down the mountain, down that Claremont access, and I can see the Hamilton skyline, the smokestacks from the steel industry. I can see Hamilton Stadium as I'm driving down the skyline, you know, sunrise. It's just like, I'm like, okay, like I wish it was it feels like game day. Like that's what it feels like to me. So I think there's definitely some motivation there in, you know, just being in the city of Hamilton, spending your time here, and then just running into the, you know, the great people that are here. Like I've never run into one person that has said something bad to me or something negative about me. Like, yes, they have strong opinions, and they should, because they're fans, and like you said, they're paying their hard-earned money to come watch us play. Absolutely. But I've never run into one person that has said something bad to me. Like they love the team, they love, you know, what we do, they love that we're out in the community. And obviously, you know, you've done a great job of that, I think, over your career, you know, from obviously the branding standpoint, building that, but just your willingness to be a part of the community, right? And that's not even like you don't have to get paid to do that. You just do it because you love it, right? Like I know I don't know if you would say this out loud to many people, but I know you told me the story of, you know, you would sometimes see little kids, you know, walking down the street, and you'd go buy a bike for them and bring it to them. And I think that is, you know, part of the specialness. That's something I strive to do too now, because I'm like, man, Sim could do it like I could do it, right? Like it's free. It's free to be nice to people and take care of people, but I think when you can do it in this community and just, you know, build it up, because, yeah, that's the next generation. These fans all support us. They love us no matter what. It's a special thing here, man. It's super special.
Yeah, and it's like I tell everybody, you can have all the money in the world, get all the money in the world, but if you don't have a sense of purpose, you'll feel so empty inside. Like at some of my highest peaks where I was making like 250K, like, you know, just a bunch, and I had no purpose. I was just living, going here, doing this, and like it felt like I was just in like a robotic system, you know.
Right.
But then once I found like the purpose of like, yo, you know what? I'm really good with kids.
Yeah.
Like the kids listen to me. I go to schools, the kids listen. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is the purpose. Now you're getting fulfilled because you feel like you're fulfilling your duty. And I tell everybody, when you're playing sports, right? That's what you love to do. There's nothing like playing professional sports at the highest occupant like you are right now. There's nothing that fills you up more than going into a stadium, making a big play, and getting that kind of energy. It's hard. It's impossible to get that once you retire. The only way that you can come close to that is finding your purpose and fulfilling that every day, and knowing that you're on the right track. For example, I go to a high school, right? Mm-hmm. And then I'm just like, man, this is the top of the week. It's about to be the end of the week. I'm about, I need something to do. I go talk to about 200 kids at the school, and I just tell them, I just give them the real about like, yo, I was in your shoes before. I know exactly what you're feeling. I know exactly what you're going through. I'm about to give you a blueprint on how to get out of high school and get on the right page of success. And just giving that game gave me the same goosebumps I got when I knocked somebody head off from Toronto. You know what I'm saying? Just because it's like when you're doing the right thing, your whole body chemically tells you if you pay attention and listen to it. First thing that starts happening is you'll get those little tremors in your brain, like the little goosebumps in your head, and then they'll start coming down to your body like, oh, snap, I'm doing the right thing.
Doing the right thing,
this kind of energy. And that's how you know that you're doing the right thing. So I always try to stay on the path of my purpose. And, you know, we all get knocked off track. That's just part of the game. And I tell the kids that all the time, like, don't think all these people that are where they want to be or doing everything they want to do have it all figured out, because that's not how life works. Life is a constant door of trying to figure out what's your next purpose. How can you help more? What can you do more? Because anytime I face any type of adversity, the way I always got out of it was by helping others.
Yeah, there's definitely something to be said about that, and I think more people need to take a page out of that notebook, because if we can all do good things for people, I think it just makes you feel better at the end of the day, and you never feel bad doing something good for somebody, right? Like when you donate some of your time that. Obviously always say time is money, but when you give some of your time to somebody and you give back, I think there's no greater feeling than that, and fulfilling, like you said, that purpose. And man, I mean, I have a similar story. Like I think it was last Tuesday or sometime last week, early in the week. We were at man, I forget the name of the school, but it's right in downtown Hamilton. I think off York or something like that. But we went there, probably like 15, 20 kids. We were running like a little BFit camp, obviously through Hamilton, and just getting them active and stuff like that. And it was the coolest thing that I got to see there. Obviously, we were putting them through some drills, like just in the gym, hanging out, throwing some footballs. The coolest thing was to see, without us even saying anything, was seeing them and the way they supported each other once they started like throwing the football. We were basically doing pat and go with these kids, and they were going around, and we basically made it fun for them, where it's like, all right, let's see how many we can catch in a row, right? So we started at like 5 to see if we could catch 5 in a row, right? And to see, like, once we got to 4, like, they're cheering on their friends, they're chanting their names on that 5th one, like they're all like saying like the last kid's name like a bunch of times. And I was just like, man, like, there's no other sport like football where it really unites everybody. I mean, we're talking about boys and girls from different diversity backgrounds, like all these different kids that are in there, and they're all like supporting each other, having such a good time. And like for me, I was like, man, that was like the most fulfilling part for me, was just like seeing like, man, I'm just throwing a football in here for these kids. And yeah, I'm a role model, if you want to call it that, because I play pro football in the city. But like, all that stuff aside, like, it was just so great to see their reactions and kind of their fuel to support each other. And I think that's what it's all about at the end of the day. And yeah, man, nothing like being out in this Hamilton community and giving back. But segueing a little bit back, I guess we'll rewind the clocks back to 2024. I know for you, obviously that was your year where you graduated, moved on from football. Was there any time where you were like, man, maybe I could play somewhere else, or maybe I could come back and play with Hamilton? Like, what do you think was the biggest deciding factor, aside from obviously getting your opportunity with the Hamilton Sports Group? Like, what was like the fueling factor behind that? And do you think, like, not in a regretful way, but do you think like, man, yeah, I for sure could have kept playing, but I just couldn't stop?
I feel like in 24 would have been a great year for the TiCats if I was able to continue to play at a level of Simoni Lawrence.
Yeah.
Because we finally had, like, Bo came into his realm and he was playing, but the only thing that we needed was a 21 in 2024, to be completely honest.
100%.
And I'm not just saying that just because, I'm just saying it just from my perspective.
I agree. I played on that team. I agree. I agree. You don't have to tell me, man.
So it was one of those things where I was like, dang, yo, I could really help this team. But by then I already got fat, sad, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But like the process is always the process. You hear everything, and then it's like, I always think about things I learned. And, Coach Orlando, he's one of those guys where I take his word for things, because like his philosophy works not just in football, but in the business life. I use his terms a lot. And it's sometimes you just got to drop the E so you can go. You know what I mean? Ego's the most frustrating thing, especially playing sports, because you understand like what ego does for you, is how it trips you out, gets you out the window, and elevates you to levels that you never could think you could get to. But also when you're there, you also have to understand what it can do to you if you stay there too long, right? And just going through that process, it was tough, because it was like, man, I could still do this thing. But then you start thinking about, like, you could still do this, but like, what about all the other stuff that's going on? Like, a lot of people just see like the game days and you making plays and stuff. But like, if you hear about like the things that we go through, or at least I went through, just making sure that I could play football every single week, or the things that that when I went through, if there wasn't a pandemic, if I would have even been able to come back and play football that
Right.
year. So it's so many different things, and like the amount of hits that you take, and
Yep.
it's all of that stuff takes a toll. And if you have the opportunity to leave the game on top, and
Yep.
on top doesn't necessarily mean winning a Grey Cup or
Yeah.
any of that stuff. On top can just mean being able to run still, being
Yep.
able to have your sense of humor still, being able to laugh still,
Yep.
being just like
I think
having
anyone
your
could
life.
say, if you would say, hey, you can leave, your last game is a Grey Cup, but like you aren't able to walk again. I think most people who are smart, and I would say like 99% of people would probably say, I don't want that. Like, I want to be able to, I would hope to be able to walk out on my own terms, right? Like, I don't think, yes, we talk about like, sacrificing our bodies for the game, and that part doesn't go in question. But I think when you really zoom out on it, it's like, man, if you had to choose the option of like, hey, you could go out on a Grey Cup, but you might not be able to walk again, or not walk the same, or you might have like head problems, whatever, or you can take this path, right? I mean, the art of the pivot that's the name of the game, right? Like when you're in a situation where you can pivot, like you have, and be successful at it. I mean, sometimes, like you said, you got to drop that E so you can go, right? Like if you would have kept playing, who knows, maybe that opportunity wasn't there for you, or maybe even, we obviously never wish injury upon anybody, especially ourselves, but like you never know what could happen, right? Like we always say, any play can be your last. And I think that just shows, the savviness on your end, especially from a business standpoint of, just being able to pivot and knowing the right time when to do it. And then, I mean, you fast forward now and you look at all you've been able to accomplish in just this short amount of time. The sky's the limit, right? I always hate that term, sky's the limit, because I feel like that means like, man, if I can go to the stars, right? Like the sky, if I can't go past the sky.
But what happens though, Goose, is like, you're so high up, you don't even know where you're at right now. Like we're in the clouds, bro. Nobody gets to live this kind of life that we live. Like I was on a date with this brilliant lady this past weekend, and like you get so used to everything. You get used to like waking up and having a great job, watching tape as football, going and working out and getting paid just to be working out, talking to the boys, mentoring, and going to appearances, speaking at schools, giving people game. Like it's not normal. None of this stuff is normal that we have the opportunity to do, but it's our life. So we just take it as a sense of normalness, right? But it's not. We're extremely blessed and highly favored, right? So when you're walking this path, you're always in the stars, and you got to ignore things that are not in your bubble, that don't go through what you go through, Goose. You know what I mean? Like everybody has something to say from the bench, you know what I mean? Like,
real talk.
From the bench, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like they're on the bench. Like when we go outside, Goose, we got to run away from girls and all this other stuff, and do just to be able to focus and lock in.
The blinders, as Coach Wash used to say, put the blinders on, right?
Put the blinders on. We have to stay focused, because everybody else's job, when they see a shooting star, is what? Try to shoot the star, right? And you have to understand that, and we have to understand that. And when you're blessed in a community like Hamilton, you have people that try to keep you at that level, right? And when you can find those people, that's why I'm so grateful for people like Scott Mitchell, Jim Lawson, Coach Orlando, that try to keep me in the air, right? And like the information that they give you, sometimes they're like, man, I just want to do this. But they understand the business, they understand the game, so they're trying to keep you there and pivot you so you can be able to continue to be who you want to be. So sometimes just being able to take information from people that understand the game is extremely valuable as well too. Instead of looking at everybody like, ha, that guy played in 4 Grey Cups and never won one. Right. And like they try to like tear you down, and I'm just like, bro, like I'm Simoni Lawrence. I walk outside and I'm Simoni, bro.
Exactly.
Like, my life is, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think to that point, right? Like a lot of people, especially a lot of football players. Obviously, I mean, that's the industry we're in. But like a lot of football players, I think are not necessarily too good, but they just don't want to hear it from the dude who's done it, right? Like a lot of people resent kind of sort of that coaching. I've always been of the mindset of like, man, glean all you can off of, dudes who have done it before. I mean, obviously, like after that 24 season, we didn't come back. Like you were one of the first people I called. Like, hey, like I obviously got to step into a bigger leadership role, being a veteran on the team. Like I don't know if you remember that call, but you were literally you were spitting advice, and I applied a lot of that to the 24 season, and it's carried on true to even now. And I mean, you got to lean on people like that. Like I always talk to O. Obviously, he played a similar position to me, and he played a long time. He's in the Hall of Fame. So like, why would I not try to get all the amount of information I could or can, from his brain and everything he's been through? Because obviously, there's things he wishes he could go back and be like, like I wish I could have done that a little bit differently. So maybe to give back, I'll tell this person this is how you should do it, right? So I think being able to glean information off the people who have been there. I mean, they always talk about surrounding yourself with greatness, right? And having a great support system. And I think it couldn't be truer with, connecting with guys like yourself, with Coach O. I mean, so many, there's just so many knowledgeable people that are in just that building alone, right?
Yeah.
That you can talk to.
Greatness is greatness, right? And you can always tell who's scared of greatness by who they hang around. You know what I'm saying? A lot of and there's nothing wrong with it, because I tell people there's nothing wrong with wanting to just be average, go about your day, and just continue that average lifestyle and be the absolute best among your people that you're around, right? And people want to feel comfortable. They don't want the big dog to come around and feel like they're certain. But you have to get comfortable in your own shoes and understand you're one-on-one. So whoever comes around doesn't change nothing about who you are. You are who you are. Anything else that comes around can only make you better because you're one of one. Right. But people can't take in that information because they feel like, oh my gosh, this person might knock me off my pivot. If that means you were never one-on-one, if you feel like somebody could do that.
Exactly.
And I understand the football world, like football's football. Like the football world where I'm from Philadelphia. Like we talk crap, we play football, and that's just how it is. Right. So I can understand my peers and how, they might feel towards me because I ain't got no friends when I play football. You know what it is with me. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, if you're playing football, in my opinion, the correct way, and you're trying to continue to feed Goose got a wife, y'all. I can't be friends with y'all on the other team. He got a wife that he got to make sure that check come home to. Kenny got kids. I can't be friends with all of you guys. I got to make sure Kenny and his situation good. Right. You know what I'm saying? Petey, he got a wife. He got a family. Now he just had a kid. I can't afford to be all, it's just
it's the dynamics of the game.
You have to set your mind on what is important. And what's important is everybody inside of your building that's helping you move forward in life. And it's no offense, but that's just how it has to be. A team can't be friends and with everybody else within that environment. But once it's off the field and it's
it's cool. You could do that off season, all that sort of stuff. But I definitely when you're on the field, you got to be able to flip that switch and be able to see red, right? You got to be able to see green too, because you don't want to hit your own teammates too many times on that friendly fire. But you got to be able to flip that switch, and I think that for me, obviously I like to visualize things, and that's Big O, Coach O obviously instilled that kind of in us, at least when I was coming up in the game. But I think the visualization standpoint is I feel like when that helmet goes on, and most times I try not to take it off during the game. If you'll see me on the sidelines, a decent amount of the game, it'll be on. I won't take it off unless it's I can't see, that dark visor is dark. I might not be able to see the film. But to me, when I'm putting that on, it's whatever, Darth Vader, right? I'm that villain, right? Like you were the same way, right? When that helmet went on for you, it was like, man, I'm the villain, and there's no stopping me. And that's kind of, I mean, we're kind of developing that here in Hamilton even more, like the villain arc. Like that's what the TiCat defense is. Like you always want to be the heroes, the hero this, hero that, but like defense really, when it comes down to it, like it's villain mentality. You got to go out there and take stuff. I mean, my job is to take the football from the offense, right? That's not a hero. That's not a hero job. Like I'm a villain. I got to go out there and steal from you, right? And that's so I can put food on the table for my family. And so, and that's how it is for everybody else on the defense. So I think being able to get into that mentality, like you have to, or else like you're just not going to dominate the way that you think you are. Like I think that just is what it comes down to.
And your correlation is so perfect. Just think about it like this. Look what you did for a family. Look at Bo Levi and his family. Rest in peace to Bo Levi's father that just passed away.
Definitely our condolences to him.
We had the best turnover defense in the whole entire league, which helped us get back the football back to our starting quarterback that's in his freaking 12, 13, whatever year he is in right now, to help him put up the best numbers in the Canadian Football League, to also help him get a new contract for himself, his two daughters, his wife, and his family to continue to move forward. Only the villain can do that. That's our job. You know
I robbed that bank for him 6 times. I know Petey did too.
and that's part of the game. And like I took the thing I took pride in being in a Hamilton TiCats since 2013 was just seeing everybody get promotions, everybody get new jobs, and all I had to do was smoke stuff every weekend. Come and smoke somebody. Any kind of problems come our way, don't worry about it. I'll take care of it. Oh, we need to be in the community. Don't worry about it. I'll go everywhere we need to go. I'll take care of all that as well. And just seeing like freaking Coach Orlando, he started as my defensive coordinator. He's the president of football operations now.
Presidente.
Freaking our boss, Scott Mitchell, he was CEO, now partner manager, and it's just seeing the growth, because I'm a military kid. I went to a military academy and I understand the roles and why it's so important for everybody to have roles. I was like, you know what? I'm on this football field, so I'm a soldier, right? But I'm not just going to be any kind of soldier, yo. I'm a lieutenant. I'm a,
be that general, that field general.
I want a Purple Heart when this is over. Hey, Goose, tell them about them hits. They don't feel good.
They don't. But hey, when you win, you don't feel them as much. I'll tell you that much.
When you're winning, you can take the hits a little more.
Yeah.
And I know that football is about the W's and the losses, but when you're on this long journey of football, you have to understand about the lessons. The lessons within everything, because nothing prepares you more for life than a game like football. Because there's nothing that I've went through outside of football that I went out in real life that hasn't happened in football, and that I had to learn how to pivot or get to the next level that way. So being able to learn from this game that we're in is extremely important. And people and players that don't take the information from people that are trying to get where they want to get, you can't tell me that nobody doesn't want to have a career after football and pretty much be able to do whatever they want to do. You can't tell me anybody doesn't want to potentially get into the Hall of Fame in football. And like, the information is right there.
It's right there.
Find the people that already did it.
Already did it. Exactly.
Drop the E so you could go, baby.
Right. Man. I mean, that's all facts. Well, I mean, obviously, we're talking about the villain series and all that different stuff. But was there any offensive player that you ever played against that was able to kind of match you in the trash talking department?
No.
Nobody.
No.
Not a single person.
Because Goose, you were here for like some good year, 2020, like.
21, I heard you say some crazy things from 21 to 23.
You see what I'm saying? But like, the thing about it is, I don't mean this stuff unless I have to mean it.
Exactly.
Like, there's nothing I say that like I'm not willing to take the repercussions for. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
100%.
But like I don't expect it to go that far. But if it does, okay, let's get to it. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? But
Yeah.
like it's just a part of the game. As you say, we are villains. Our job is to take these high-paid offensive players off of their game.
Yep.
And football is so mental that if you're playing offense and you're worried about what number 21 is saying, you're not going to
you're off your game.
Perform your job.
Yeah.
I got the scouting report from some teams, and they said, you know what? Don't say nothing to Simoni Lawrence. He's off of that, and he plays better. I was like, what?
Yeah. Yeah. Man, it's true.
There's some people that I had fun talking to. Like I remember Duke Williams is fun to talk.
Duke,
right?
yeah.
Williams when he was in Edmonton that year with them boys, he was fun to talk to. But like, nah, man, that's like it's fun. Like you keep yourself in the game, and when you've been doing something since you were 9 years old, how can you wake yourself up to play at your highest level consistently?
Yeah.
I tell everybody, a lot of people got to play football on scholarship.
Yeah.
Because they didn't get everybody's best because they were friends with everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So that means if you're playing against somebody that you're friends with, they're not going to try to absolutely embarrass and destroy you.
Yep.
I'm getting everybody's best because of the things that I'm saying to them and their teammates. They are trying to embarrass me every single week. And anytime they don't do that, that's a win for the
It's a win for you. It's a win. It's a win. Man.
So I just appreciate the fact that when you play like at that level of that kind of like violence and villain era, that's when you see the best football. Everybody's like, I love Labor Day game. I love when Calgary plays Edmonton in that rival game. I love the Banjo Bowl.
Yeah.
Why don't you just make it that every single week? You
make it that, yeah.
Every single week. And those are the games that get the highest rankings. When you see freaking the Pittsburgh Steelers playing their rivals, when you see the Dallas Cowboys playing their rivals, everybody's like, oh, we love these games. You can do that every week, but you just got to be a certain kind of player. And not everybody wants that kind of attention because it's exhausting sometimes, you know.
Yeah.
But you know, you get the best performance out of the players.
Yeah.
If I was the commissioner, I make everybody beef. I just
gotta beef
about everything.
It's the entertainment industry, man. Like people forget that too. Like, we play football. That's the job. But what sells is the entertainment aspect of it, right? And that's on the field. That's off the field as well. And I think it's kind of unfortunate the way, I guess, whatever, social media, the way the media has moved is like everyone obviously answers in the cookie cutter, sort of responses because, you don't want to. I mean, we remember what happened to Pat Levels in 2021 when he called out Masoli and Speedy. That was not
we did him so bad.
That's part of the game. Yeah, and know what? I don't think anyone like post game. Like I've talked to him I think after the game and like shook his hand and stuff like that. Like he was just hyping up the game, and I think that made the game more watched. It
was, and you learn this just because it's a team environment, right? Like Patrick Levels, he's not a guy that could say what he said, because he can't take over a whole football game the way he needs to do to be able to say that in the media. You know what I mean? So like him saying that, bro, you play Sam linebacker and you got to match up against the people that you are talking about, and you're not even like the
Brandon Banks, Speedy B, man, Speedy B.
So it's like some people just are taking shots, but the shots they too low to be able to take the shots.
Mm-hmm.
But like as far as like entertainment value, it's extremely entertainment.
Yeah.
Now I don't got to be going extra crazy and warm-ups, cursing out the whole team just to let everybody know we about to go to war. It's already set the tempo. It's like, all right, bet. Everybody already mad, and their brain is the way it should already be. He should have never had to say that.
Should have never had to,
Our brain is already where it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
I remember we were playing. It was like we're playing BC, and they like danced on our logo.
Yeah, David Mackey. I always remind him when I see him at the PA meetings, man. He always talks about it.
Happy, yo, because I'm like, yes, now everybody's gonna be violent, and yet so I don't even gotta act crazy and talk crazy.
What was that like? Like what exactly happened? Like, obviously, I wasn't in the league yet. Like, take me through what happened. You know, the David Mackey BC Lions disrespect in Hamilton. Tell me about it.
Look, I'm not even gonna lie because I can't even tell you everything that happened because so much happened that year. Like, there may or may not been a full out fist fight. From like me walking by a bus and just
part of the game.
The people don't understand how legendary that BC game was because it was really some WWF. We had Ric Flair, like, because there was real stuff going on around that whole thing. I can't talk about it because I will never rat on nobody, even if I don't like. But it was so fun. Like, it was fun. It was the way football should be played. And they were feeling themselves because, like, man, when I tell you there may have been a fight where it was like a BC whole football team versus like one person because that person just don't care, you know? And he might have like did something and it was just him versus all of them, you know? So they were feeling themselves, right? So they came on the field and then they started like, damn, Mackey's from here, yo. He's a good kid, whatever. But like, you know, as a football player, you have a job to do. He might feel a way too that he's playing in BC. He's from Hamilton and he wants to be on the field, right? So he's dancing and they were having a great time. But it was just at the wrong time.
At the wrong time.
I mean? Yo, Goose, what we talked about earlier. You can be right,
but you could be wrong.
Wrong.
And still be wrong. Yeah. And that game, that was a blowout game, was it not? Y'all beat the brakes off them.
Dog crap out of them. We had Jerry Glanville. I remember vividly. I told Glanville, "Hey, Glanville, put me on the defense or on D line. Put me over the center. If I don't get the quarterback every single second along, I'll give you $100, bro." It was that kind of like dominance. You know what I'm saying? And that game was one of those games where it was just like, this is how football should always be played. And it shouldn't take somebody to dance on a logo or a bunch of fights outside of football for you to play football like that. And that's how I always tried to train my brain to make sure that I'm always playing football like that. People are like, why this guy so crazy and mean and all that? Because that's how you play 10 years. That's how you continue to get a career outside of football. That's how you continue to get better every single year. Like, that's the reason you do these things, because the worst thing that can happen to you as an athlete is you getting comfortable and thinking that everything is okay and I'm okay and I'm in a safe space. Because the thing about this job that we all did or are doing right now, there's people's job is to try to replace you. You know what I mean? Like every single year they are looking for the next Goose, whether you know it or not. Every single year they're looking for the next Kenny, whether he knows it or not. That's just the nature of this business. So if you understand that, you got to understand that you have to be a freaking competitive freaker. Coach Austin used to say that all the time. And it's like, it's the truest thing. It's like, when you're even at camp, there was some years I'm taking first team reps. I'm taking second team reps. I'm doing special. You know what I'm saying?
I know them boys are mad that they're not getting their reps, saying, hey, get out. He ain't coming out. He's played 8 years already.
You want your rep, come take it from you. You know what I'm saying? Our job is to take stuff. And that's why I love football so much, because nothing's just given to anybody in football. Anything that gets given to you in football, it eventually gets taken away by the football gods or by injury or by you getting benched on the field. And that's why I appreciate football so much. But to answer your question, I think that they were just feeling themselves, yo. They were just like on a high. They were living off a bunch of lies that they were telling each other in the locker room. And then at the end of the day, you know, you got to go prove it. You say you tough, you say you bad. All right, let's go. I swear we were doing, bro, we played black all game.
Man, covered black the entire game.
We didn't start playing zone until it was like 40-0.
Man. Those are the games you dream about, though, where like obviously close games are nice, right? The back and forth, all that. But like when you could put it to a team and run up the score and all that,
In the
like
playoffs.
in the playoffs, like that's there's no better feeling than
At
that.
home, in Hamilton, in a blackout.
In Hamilton, yeah, the blackout, that's you got to do what you're supposed to do at the end of the day. Take care of business in front, and the city will take care of you, as we always say. But the last question I want to leave you with, I mean, obviously, like you said, your career was so long. You started out here. You obviously became the leader. You know who you are today. When do you think was like the transition for you from obviously being the, the mentee, if you want to call it that, from getting mentored in this league to becoming the true leader, true mentor, all that sort of stuff? Like at what point in your all that sort of stuff?
Yeah, like Goose, to be honest, like the way I grew up is like I didn't have a lot of time to go through the process of things. So I always only understood things one certain kind of way.
Yeah.
It was to come in and dominate and then figure the rest out and go off of my tempo and my energy. When I went to Valley Forge. I went there for 2 years, and you watch that show Last Chance U. It's
Yep.
pretty much, you got a year to get a scholarship and get to where you want to get to.
Yep.
So I don't have time to get mentored. I don't got time to I got time to go and be who I think I can be and see if my way works, right? So at the academy, I got there, was a captain first year, got my D1 scholarship, went to Minnesota. So now I'm at Minnesota I'm only at Minnesota for a year and a half because I'm like, all right, now I'm here I only got 2 years to do what I do. Got to Minnesota, was a captain. So now I'm captain and I go to the pros.
Yeah.
And the same thing in Hamilton. But the thing about Hamilton, it was tricky because it was the guy that was in front of me was a defensive player of the year. His name was Knowlton. They had Jamal Johnson, who he's a hell of a linebacker, and it was already written. But at the time, all you know is what you know, right?
Yeah.
So it's like the team wasn't up to par. I think we won like one or a couple of games the year before. So in my head, I'm like, it's not at the standard. So I can't let anybody here tell me the standard. I know Jamal was a great mentor. And the thing I learned about Jamal was how to let other people do what they're good at, right?
Yep.
Like Jamal gave me the room to be Simoni Lawrence. Coach O gave me the room to be Simoni Lawrence in my first year here. And I was grateful for a guy like that. And like, that's what always stuck with me. Like, I don't have no problem being Scottie Pippen, but the guy that comes here has to be Michael Jordan. You know what I mean? Like, if you're not coming here to be Mike Jordan and be able to lead the team, come to meetings on time, work out, not miss practices, motivate the boys, and stay on the straight and narrow, be in the community, and do everything the absolute best way, then nobody's listening to nothing you got to say. You know what I mean? So the standard has to be the standard. And if you can't uphold the standard, then it doesn't matter. So I would say as soon as I got here in 2013, we're just like, all right, let's go. And then, and the thing that happened was we were able to confirm it with validity. Our first year we got here, we went to the
Grey Cup. Yeah.
Second year we got here, we went to the Grey Cup. You know what I'm saying? So we're like, all right, this works. And I would say when I started to like try to figure out a way that I could put less into myself, because the first like 3-4 years I was like, oh, Simoni Lawrence, how can I was like, all right, how can I like figure ways to make the team better, like how can I take stuff off of my plate? And that's when you start like trying to pour into guys like Newton. Like Newton, he's actually a cop now here in
Curtis.
Hamilton. Yeah, he's one of those guys, like as a leader, you see people like him that understand the game, might not be the physically most gifted ever, but you know that you can trust that guy to do everything that he is supposed to do. And not only trust him to do what he's supposed to do, he's going to know what everybody else is supposed to do. And that's how you build great teams, right? You got to find those diamonds in the rough that are going to make sure that they'll die for this stuff. You know what I mean? Because like you're always going to have like the superstars. Like every football team has superstars.
Yep.
Like, are just out of their mind good. Like a Speedy B, he's a superstar, out of his mind good. He's always going to be a great football player. Kenny Lawler, mind good. Like these guys are just who we are. But the thing that keeps football teams like stable and stuff are those diamond in the rough players that are going to do what they're supposed to do all the time. They're going to be where they need to be all the time. And that's how you keep the team together. Those guys can communicate with everybody. They hang out with the offensive linemen. They hang out with the defensive backs. They hang out with everybody because, you know, football locker room, it's a lot of weird. It's different. Everybody is massively different in the football locker room, and it's hard to get everybody on the same
together.
And that's what I admired about our team. That like this past season, I felt like everybody was on the same page as far as togetherness. I think that you guys did such a great job keeping everybody together and going towards the same goal. You know, like the energy and the tempo of the team felt like one beat. It didn't feel like this group was over here doing their own thing. This group was over here doing their own thing. This group was doing their own thing. And I think that's why we found success. Like more like, you know, there were some games that we wanted to win, of course, but like we found consistent success because everybody was moving at one. You know, we hate clicks. I hate when I see a group of people over there. Oh, you know what they talk about? Oh, this is bullshit. Yeah, group over there. No, you guys found a way to keep everything together, and that's so important on the football team. That's why I tell everybody, like, I have no problem embarrassing myself in front of the boys as long as we all can be together. You know, like
that's what matters. You know, it's that brotherhood.
I want to tell a crazy story, embarrass the heck out of myself, just so nobody can feel left out about nothing, because we all got to be together, and that's the hardest thing in football is keeping everybody together, and that's why I'm so proud about the boys last season, about how you guys went about your business, for sure.
Yeah, got to keep building it this year. Training camps can be fun. We got some new faces. Start that bond all over again. We'll see. I mean, it's all about that brotherhood at the end of the day, right? Like
absolutely.
You need obviously great coaches. You need a great organization, you know, from top to bottom. But at the true end of the day, if you don't have that brotherhood in the locker room, all else can fail. So you know, I'm looking forward to building that. I know you'll be out there, out and around, you know, checking out the new team this year once we get to training camp. But man, I appreciate you coming on, chopping it up. I don't know if I'll see you the rest of this week, but I know I'll see you next Monday when we're working out, and we're gonna get to it, man. We're gonna get to it. It's gonna be great. You're putting in that work. Great to see, my man. Keep doing your thing.
Nah, you too, Goose. I'm proud of you, bro. Keep going up, baby. You know what I'm saying? And remember, man, hey, Goose does the flyest is the highest over the Himalayas, baby.
flying.
You see what I'm saying? So, you already in the sky, baby.
Yeah.
You already in the sky. You always gonna be in the sky.
Yep.
And don't let no outside noise make you feel like you not in the sky. You know what I mean? Because nobody gets to do what we get to do, bro. We woke up this morning and we worked out and had fun working out. You know what I'm saying?
Liam Dobson, 600 pounds on the bar. Watch out. Watch out.
Talking on a microphone later.
Nobody else could do this. You're right. Yep. Yeah. Nobody else gets to do it. Yep.
Like there's people like, you know what I mean, doing that dog work. And, you know, we do our dog work to be able to provide this lifestyle that we have now.
Yep.
And like, we're the top 3%, you know? So at the end of the day, yo, just keep doing the right thing and doing what you know how to do what you do. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
Keep going up, baby.
Yes, sir. You know, I'll leave us with this one quote. I've been reading this book, and the quote says, work on your business in the morning and work in your business in the afternoon. Let's get to it, man. Appreciate you for coming on,
baby.
We'll see you. Take it easy.